I've got big breaking news coming in on the news track tonight. An army vehicle moving between Bhimber Gali and Poonch in the Rajouri sector of Jammu and Kashmir has been fired on by unidentified terrorists. 5 army men of the Rashtriya Rifles Unit deployed for counter-terrorism operations have been killed in this attack. Terrorists may have lobbed grenades on the vehicle, which then caught fire. Army Chief General Manoj Pandey has briefed Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Injured on the spot have been rushed for medical treatment. Search operations have been launched. We're also receiving word that there is a advisory that's been put out by the police in Jammu and Kashmir linking the possibility of attack to the fact that later this month there is a G20 summit in Jammu and Kashmir from the 22nd to the 25th of May, and that there is a possibility that terrorists will try and cause more attacks somewhere in Jammu and Kashmir to create a sense of things not being normal in Jammu and Kashmir. The government taking a big decision, wanting to have a G20 meeting in Jammu and Kashmir, and terrorists inside Pakistan occupied Kashmir obviously wanting to disrupt that. That's the information that we are getting. We're also learning that the PAFF has claimed responsibility. This is a claim that they've made on social media. Sources in the intelligence agencies are telling us that the footprints of the Lashkar can be seen all across the attack, this attack. The Additional Director General of Jammu and other senior officers are rushing to the area where this encounter has taken place. Remember, a vehicle caught fire. It was initially thought that something went wrong, which is why that vehicle caught fire. But now it turns out that that was a terror attack. 5 army men have been killed. It's being said that the terrorists used an explosive device at this vehicle, and that's how the vehicle detonated and caught fire. We're also being told that there is a heightened possibility of more terror attacks in the Jammu and Kashmir region in the build-up to that big G20 summit. You know, it's been a while since there's been a major attack of this nature in Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, in February 2019, 40 CRPF personnel were killed in Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama district when a Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist rammed a vehicle laden with explosives into the bus that they were travelling in. And after that, now we are seeing this terror attack in which 5 personnel from the Rashtriya Rifle have been killed. Abhishek Bhalla, our National Bureau Chief, joins us. He tracks defence for us. Abhishek, a big disturbing story. This, an army vehicle attacked by terrorists in Rajouri, 5 personnel killed. Initially, this was thought that the vehicle caught fire. Now the army confirming that this is actually a terror attack.
Yes, Rahul, a terror attack, and a very well-planned one is what sources are telling me. In fact, first there were bullets fired at this vehicle. This was a single vehicle that was moving from Bhimber Gali. It was a Rashtriya Rifle personnel. Rashtriya Rifles is the main force that combats terror in J&K, and there were 6 personnel in the vehicle. 5 have lost their lives. 1 is injured. Has been taken to hospital. What officials are saying is that the weather was bad, it was raining, the visibility was low, and perhaps that's the reason why the terrorists in the area found this to be the right time to strike. And after firing bullets, they have thrown grenades at the vehicle. This is what amplified this attack, and there was a big fire that the vehicle caught, which resulted in 5 personnel dying.
What do we know about the People's Anti-Fascist Front, the PAFF, which at least on social media seems to be claiming responsibility for the attack? Remember, intelligence agencies tell us that this is linked with the Jaish-e-Mohammed, the PAFF. What do we know about their involvement in past terror attacks, Abhishek?
Well, Rahul, agencies have always maintained that any such outfits are nothing but an extension of Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, the big terror outfits that function from Pakistan. And even with this incident, agencies and the army are trying to ascertain immediately whether this was a fresh infiltration that has taken place, or whether terrorists had already infiltrated well in advance and were taking refuge in some area. Because this is a secluded area where the incident has taken place, not a lot of civilian population residing here. The vehicle that was moving, they were moving from Bhimber Gali to one of the company areas where they had to reach. So in all probability, it seems that this is a terror outfit that is backed by
Kamaljeet
Pakistan.
Sandhu joins us. Kamaljeet Sandhu tracks internal security for us. Kamaljeet, since 2019, there haven't been major terror attacks. This is the biggest since Pulwama in 2019 in February. There have been other attacks in years gone by, but this seems to have been a major terror attack. What details can you give our viewers, Kamaljeet?
Well, Rahul, definitely this is a very ghastly attack. The visual itself are very, very disturbing. But what our sources are indicating is that PAFF, as you mentioned rightly, has taken responsibility on various social media sites.
What is PAFF? What can you tell me about PAFF? At one place I'm seeing that this is Jaish backed, at another place on tracking terrorism, the portal, it's being said that this was started by the Lashkar-e-Taiba. Who are these guys?
So this is a splinter group, and obviously there is a sense of deniability, and that is why these smaller splinter groups was formed, one by Jaish and one by Lashkar. But sources clearly indicating to us that this looks like a Lashkar imprint. What is also very much known is that there was a firing and subsequently followed by grenade. And it does seem that the fuel tank was targeted, and that is why you see that the entire truck actually went up in flames, and that has caused a lot more injuries. Also, sources do say that this is an indication of a major escalation, especially because G20 was being organized in Jammu and Kashmir. It's a matter of great prestige. However, in the recent past itself, the Union Home Minister had taken a meeting on the G20 security issues. It was supposed to be one of the big things. Also that there was a direction coming in from Home Ministry that there has to be zero terror. Now that is a very, very high value target as far as this, because obviously even as far as crime or something like terror is concerned, zero target has been kept as far as our sources indicate. And meanwhile, this is the sort of thing which has come, and obviously we know that as far as drugs, as far as weapons, IEDs, a whole lot of things have been coming across the border, especially via drones, and now we see a major escalation in terms of an attack taking of this kind. This is obviously something which has been taken note of.
No, so do we have details like this is a Rashtriya Rifles vehicle that's been targeted? Was it travelling alone? Was it in a cavalcade? I'm just receiving word from the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Manoj Sinha. He's tweeted to say, I'm deeply anguished by the loss of lives of brave army personnel in a tragic incident at Poonch. Their rich service to the nation will never be forgotten. My thoughts are with the bereaved families. Was this vehicle by itself, Kamaljeet? Was it as part of a convoy? Do we know where it was in that convoy? Was it in the beginning? Was it in the middle? Was it towards the end?
Well, the details will be known better, because obviously we've spoken to our police sources. They're saying the senior officers rushing there. But yes, this vehicle was targeted, and it does seem like a very planned attack, and it does seem that there was an ambush-style attack which has taken place, followed by a grenade attack, and that is where we have to know whether the retaliation took place. So these details will emerge in some time from now, but senior officers telling that, including ADGV Jammu and the rest of the officers rushing to the spot, and obviously this is something which is being taken note of. Usually convoys of this kind do not go alone. They usually have a cavalcade of sorts, but remember, as far as the ROP is concerned, the road opening party, the other safety aspects are taken into consideration. Now, in the past few months or so, we've seen there have hardly been, and we've seen the earlier of the year, beginning with the Rajouri terror attack, where Hindu minorities were targeted in the Rajouri area. But meanwhile, this is the second big attack of this particular nature which has taken place, and obviously forces will take into consideration. We've seen there have been earlier demands that forces should be removed, especially from areas which are safe and secure. But obviously Jammu and Kashmir is obviously a different ballgame altogether. It's one step forward and two step backwards. This is obviously a seen as an escalation, but yes, the planning and plotting, where has it been carried out? Was it from across the border? Remember, as far as terror organizations are concerned, Jammu Kashmir Police intelligence sources saying that they're down to 50 and handful of foreign terrorists there. But this looks like a very, very well planned attack.